So, when we are discussing the relationship or the graphical representation of motion, first we will be having distance time graph. We will be having distance time graph or position time graph. So, we will be discussing three different types of distance time graph. Out of that, the first one, whenever the body is not moving, a car which is at rest, it is not started, it is staying at the position where it is at rest itself. So, whenever the time is increasing, for the first 5 minutes it was at rest, so the distance, it hasn't moved any distance, zero distance. From the next 5 minutes, again the body is not moving, again the distance moved is zero itself. So, with respect to time, there is no change in distance, the distance is same itself. If there was change in distance, it should have been increasing like this. No, it is not increasing. At the initial position itself, wherever the body was placed or parked at the initial position, at that position itself the body is staying, it is not moving with respect to time. So, a body, the graph for any body at rest is this one. Graph will be parallel to the x-axis. The graph will be parallel to the x-axis for any body at rest. Clear? Now, the second motion is uniform motion. I have told you, we have discussed it before. That means uniform motion means the body will be moving equal distance in equal interval of time. For the first 5 seconds it will move 10 meters, next 5 seconds it will move 20 meters, next 5 seconds it will reach 30 meters. So, in each time interval the body will be moving 10 meters each. Okay. So, that is uniform speed. So, any body, the graph of any body moving with uniform motion will be a straight line. Graph of any body moving with uniform motion will be a straight line. Clear? Important. You have to note it down for your multiple choice questions, etc. These questions can be asked. Represent, which graph represents a body at rest, which graph represents a body with uniform motion. Okay. Now, the third type is non-uniform motion. Okay. So, non-uniform motion, we won't have equal distance travelled in equal interval of time. Okay. So, the distance will be changing with respect to time, means each time interval they will move different distances. Okay. So, we will be having increased we will be having curves, there won't be straight lines, we will be having curved lines for representing non-uniform motion. Okay. So, these are the three different types of graphs which comes under distance time graph or position time graph. Okay. So, this is the important thing, straight line graph will be for uniform motion and the graph parallel to x-axis will be for the body at rest. Clear? One more important thing what we want to study is, in maths you might have studied how to find out slope, how to find out slope of a graph. Okay, how to find out slope of a graph. So, in order to find out, so listen here, the graph is inclined, straight line graph. So, it is having a slope, it's having a slope over here. Slope means it is inclined with a graph, this is inclined with a angle, isn't it? So, this is having a slope. If we keep, for example, from top of a mountain, if we throw down a ball, it will move throughout the slope, the ball will be moving down, isn't it? So, likewise it is having a slope. Okay. In mathematics, if we want to find out the slope of a graph, what we will do is, slope is equal to the quantity in y-axis divided by the quantity in x-axis. The quantity in y-axis divided by the quantity in x-axis will give you the slope of that graph. The quantity in y-axis divided by the quantity in x-axis will give you the slope of a graph. Now, listen, what term is described or mentioned in this graph in y-axis? Here in y-axis the quantity measured is what? What is the quantity explained in y-axis? That is distance. Isn't it? The quantity measured in y-axis is distance. And what is the quantity measured in x-axis? That is time. Isn't it? Okay. So, in distance time graph, when we calculate the slope of that graph, we will understand that the slope is equal to distance by time. And now you will be familiar with this equation. What is distance divided by time? The distance divided by time will give you speed. Distance divided by time will give you speed, isn't it? So, the graph, the slope of distance time graph will give you speed. The next important point, the slope of distance time graph will give you speed. Clear? Okay. So, three different types of graph: body at rest, body moving with uniform motion, body moving with non-uniform motion. Clear? And the straight line graph in distance time graph will represent uniform motion. The slope of distance time graph will represent the speed with which the body is moving. You know, if you want to find out, means what, this is a graph is given. If you want to find out the speed of any body, the speed of the body moving, what do you have to do? Just take the difference between the two terms. So, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So, 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay. If you want to find out the speed of the body moving from second, means what, time 2 second to 3 second, what you will do? Just take the slope. How to find out the slope? Here slope is equal to how much distance it moved. It reached 30 meter. From what meter it started? From 20 meter it reached 30 meter. So, the initial y2 minus y1 divided by h2 minus h1. That means the final position, final distance divided by the initial distance 30 minus 20, and the final time divided by the initial time. So, that will give you how much distance and how much time it travelled in that particular interval, isn't it? So, that means it is 30 minus is equal to 30 minus 20, that is the distance. Okay, final distance minus initial distance divided by time 3 minus 2, 3 second minus 2 seconds. So, what it is? 30 minus 20, it is 10, divided by 3 minus 2, it is 1. So, 10 meter per second, 10 by 1, that is equal to 10 meter per second is the speed with which the body is moving from means what, the time 2 second to 3 second. Okay. So, likewise, whichever graph is given, you can find out the distance moved by time. If you take, you can find out the speed. That means if you find out the slope of the graph, you will understand with what speed the body is moving. Clear? Okay. So, the next graph is velocity time graph. Okay. So, in velocity time graph, in y-axis we will be taking velocity, in x-axis we will be taking time. So, with respect to time, the independent variable velocity, what is the change of independent variable velocity, we will be plotting in the graph. Okay. So, here with respect to time, the body is moving with constant speed. Okay. With respect to time, the body is moving with constant velocity. That means the velocity is not at all changing. For the first 5 seconds, if it was moving with 60 km per hour, the next 5 seconds again it will be moving with 60 km per hour, then again it moves on like that. So, the velocity means the velocity is a constant for all interval of time, equal interval of time, the velocity is constant. So, what is happening? The velocity is not changing, it is not increasing. Okay, the velocity, it is not increasing, it is not decreasing. What is happening? It's a constant. So a body moving with constant velocity, it will be having, the graph will be parallel to the x-axis. In position time graph, what was the parallel graph representing? It was representing the body at rest. Here the parallel graph to the x-axis will be representing the body moving with constant speed. Clear? Okay. So here the slope is 0. It is not inclined. It's not having any angle here. It's not making any angle with this y-axis. So with the x-axis. So it is parallel. So the slope is 0. Okay. Now when we come to this point, speed increases uniformly. So when the body is moving with, the velocity is increasing at equal interval of time, uniform increases there. For the first 5 seconds, the body was moving with 10 meter per second square. 10 meter per second. The next 5 seconds, it was moving with 20 meter per second, not 10. If it was again 10, then it will be straight line, parallel to the x-axis. But here, it's a straight line, inclined straight line it is. Okay. So next 5 seconds, it will move 20 meter per second with the speed. Third interval, the next interval, it will move with 30 meter per second. So it increases gradually. Okay, the speed increases gradually. So the speed increases uniformly. So then we will have a straight line, inclined straight line. Clear? And now, so it is a positive slope. It is increasing. So positive slope. So what we will say? What is the slope giving you? In this, as we have discussed before, in this graph, what we will get when we calculate the slope? What is there in y-axis? Slope means y by x, isn't it? Y by x. Okay. So in y-axis, we will be having velocity. In y-axis, we will be having velocity. In x-axis, we are having time in velocity time graph. Okay, in y-axis, we are having velocity. In x-axis, we are having time in velocity time graph. So what will be slope? The slope will be velocity divided by time. And we know what is velocity divided by time? It is acceleration, isn't it? So acceleration is the quantity which we get when we calculate the slope in velocity time graph. In position time graph, what we got? The slope was, what was the quantity given by the slope? It was speed. In velocity time graph, the slope will give you acceleration. So here we will say that the body is uniformly accelerated when it is having, when the speed is increasing uniformly, we will say that the body is uniformly accelerated because of positive slope. But here, when the speed decreases uniformly, what we will say? When the speed decreases uniformly, we will say that it is having negative slope. It will decrease, the speed will decrease. So the slope will come down. It is having negative slope. So we will say it is negative slope, and that negative slope, we will say that it's opposite of acceleration. It is not accelerating, it is decelerating. That means the speed is coming down. We are applying brake in a car. The speed is coming down. So we will say a new term, that is retardation. Retard, to stop, to come down, to slow down. Retardation. Okay. So acceleration, the opposite of acceleration is retardation. So if it is a negative slope, we will say that it is retardation. Okay. So the slope of velocity time graph, what we will get? We will get acceleration. Now one more thing which you have to study in this velocity time graph, which we haven't discussed in position time graph, is area under the graph. Area under the graph. What we will get when we calculate the area under the graph? So what is area? Area is equal to length into breadth, isn't it? Side into side will give you what? Area. For example, if we calculate here, if we calculate the area under, this is the graph, and area under the graph means the graph, the area under the x-axis. So the graph and the x-axis, what is the area contained under the graph with respect to x-axis? Okay, x-axis-നും ഗ്രാഫിനും ഇടയിലുള്ള ഏരിയ എത്രയാണ് എന്നുള്ളത് നമ്മൾ കാൽക്കുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുവാണെങ്കിൽ what will be the quantity which we get? What will be the term which we get? Okay, so here, what is this? If we consider this is a rectangle, isn't it? If this is a rectangle, it will have two sides, that is, this will be the breadth, this will be the length. The length will be denoting. What is the length denoting here? Time. What is the breadth denoting here? velocity. So the area here is given what? What is here? What is the area under the graph means? Area under the graph will be length into breadth. Here what is length? Length is time. Length is time. And what is breadth? Length into breadth. Breadth is velocity. So velocity into time. What is velocity into time? We know speed or velocity is equal to distance by time. So if I take this time to the opposite side, what we will get? Velocity into time will give you what? Distance. Velocity into time will give you distance. Okay. So what will be area under the graph of a velocity time graph? Give you velocity into time. That's equal to distance or displacement. Distance or displacement. So the area under the graph in velocity time graph will give you distance. The slope of a velocity time graph will give you acceleration. The slope of a position time graph will give you what? Speed or velocity. Clear? So these are the terms which you need to, these are the points which you need to keep in mind when you are discussing the graphical representation of motion. Okay. Now we are moving on to the important and towards the end of the chapter. We are moving towards the end of the chapter, and that is equations of motion. Equations of motion. Okay. So I have told you there are some relationship between position. There are some relationship between position and time. There are some relationship between velocity and time. Also there are some relationship between position and velocity. Okay. So position and time there is some relationship. Velocity and time there is some relationship. Position and velocity also there is some relationship. So these relationships are converted into equations for our calculation purposes. Okay. In physics we will be having a lot of numericals to be solved. So in order to solve these numericals we need some equations. So those equations are what? How are they formulated? They are formulated from these relationships: position time relationship, velocity time relationship, and position velocity relationship. Okay. So we need to study these equations by heart. So I'll be giving you these equations, and we need to study these equations so that we can solve the numericals or the problems very easily. Okay. So and how these are means what? Formulated. These equations are formulated using graphs. Now we have discussed velocity time graph, position time graph, etc. So from velocity time graph, the scientists or the physicists have what they have done? They have formulated, they have calculated a lot of equations, and then they have formulated these equations. Okay. So I'll be giving you position time equation. So I'll write the equations first. Position time equation: S is equal to ut plus half at square. V is equal to u plus at. And position velocity: v square minus u square is equal to 2as. So you may be wondering, what is this S? And I have told you what is u, what is t, etc. So once again I will write it down. S is equal to displacement. S is equal to displacement. So displacement will be denoting what? Position. Displacement will be denoting position. T is time. T denotes time. Ut plus half at square. T denotes time. Okay. So here position S, T time. So position and time relationship that is being made into a equation. S is equal to ut plus half at square. Now u, I have told you before, that is initial velocity. U is the initial velocity. So what will be v? What will be v? V will be final velocity. V will be final velocity. And what is a? That also we have discussed. What is a? A is acceleration. A is acceleration. A is acceleration. So here you look, velocity time relationship. V is the velocity, u is also velocity, and time t. Okay, so the relationship between the velocity and time is given by this equation, v is equal to u plus at. And if I rearrange this equation for your great understanding, if I take this u to the other side, what will happen? V minus u, and then v minus u is equal to a t. And if I take this time to the denominator, v minus u by t is equal to a. So this is the equation for acceleration. A is equal to change in velocity by time. Okay, so using these equations, and they have rearranged all these equations, and thus they have formulated three equations of motion, that is s is equal to ut plus half at square, v is equal to u plus at, v square minus u square is equal to 2 into a into s. So s is displacement, t is time, u is equal to initial velocity, v is equal to final velocity, and a is equal to acceleration. So by heart these equations, we will be using it for solving all the numericals. Okay, so and one small portion for us to study in this chapter, that is about circular motion. Okay, these much the whole time we were discussing about straight line motion, the body moving in a straight line. That means in from one initial position to the final position in straight line. Now we will be discussing what? The body in circular motion. The last and the small topic, circular motion. Okay, circular motion means the body will be moving in a circle. Okay, the example which we have taken in the beginning, the racer runs along a running track. Okay, so he will be moving, starting from here, he will move a distance. So this is not a circle. If I want to draw a circle, okay, so let this be circular motion. Okay, whatever it is, that's also means what, when a continuous circular motion can be explained using a circular motion. Okay, so whenever it is moving from the initial position, a body is moving and it reaches here. Okay, so what will be the distance traveled by the body? What will be the distance traveled by the body when it is in a circular motion? That will be given by the circumference. Okay, it's not a straight line, it's not a straight line motion, it's a circular motion. So the body is moving in a circular path, so the distance traveled by the body will be equal to the circumference of the circle. Okay, so if the body is moving in a circle whose radius is r, small r, so what will be the circumference? The circumference will be given by 2 pi r. You have studied it in maths, 2 pi r. Okay, so the distance is equal to, distance d is equal to the circumference in circular motion, that is 2 pi r. So what will be the speed or the velocity? Velocity is equal to distance by time, isn't it? So what is distance here? Velocity is equal to 2 pi r divided by time. So this is the equation for velocity. This is the equation for velocity of a circular motion. Equation for velocity of any body moving in circular motion or undergoing circular motion, we have to use this equation, v is equal to 2 pi r by t. Okay, so this is the last equation which you need to note down in this chapter. Okay, so we have been discussing about motion. Okay, the body is moving, so it is related with position, it is related with time, it is related with distance, it is related with displacement. Distance means only magnitude, only quantity. Displacement means what? It is having both magnitude as well as direction. Then we have discussed about speed and velocity, isn't it? Okay, then what we have discussed? Then we have discussed about acceleration, rate of change of velocity. So remember, whenever the rate term comes, it will be denoting with respect to time. Okay, then we have discussed the graphical representation of motion using distance time graph, velocity time graph. Then we have discussed about the three equations of motion. Remember, I am H means what? I am asking you to by heart it because we need it for our numericals, solving numericals. Okay. So, S is equal to ut plus half at square, v is equal to u plus at, and v square minus u square is equal to 2as. Okay. These are the three equations of motion, and the last is circular motion. So, the equation for velocity of a body moving in circular motion is v is equal to 2 pi r divided by time. Okay. So, these are the important points which you need to study in this chapter motion. Okay. So, thank you.